Hi everyone, my name is Sunny and I'm a senior at Brooklyn College.
And my name is Usman Kune. I'm a recent grad from College of Staten Island.
My name is Amina. I'm from Brooklyn College.
I'm James Santana. I am a senior at Baruch College.
And I'm Emma. I'm from Hunter College.
So we are ParkMatch. We created an app that uses crowdsourced technology to help people find parking spots around New York or around their area, wherever it happened to be. So we are all New Yorkers, right? We know how impossible it is sometimes to find a parking spot around the city. I'm sure a couple of us were late today because of that. So funny story. I came to the United States a couple of years ago, and I came around December. So my family decided to throw a party in my honor in New Year's Eve. And that was great. Except that I have to drive to Washington Heights that day. And long story short, I spent from 10 o'clock to 2 in the morning stuck in my car looking for parking. I missed my own welcome party. So, a couple of years of college later, I decided to find a solution for that. And what we decided to do was, well, when I moved to Washington Heights, I noticed that people over there, they coordinated. They texted each other saying, hey, I'm leaving. If somebody's arriving, I can give them a parking spot. The ladies over here, they are even part of Facebook groups that do the same around Brooklyn College. That they just share their location. Amina's group have more than 1,000 members, so there is a need for that kind of solution. And we decided to put that into an app that takes your location, say, hey, I'm leaving at this time, and after 5 minutes, just takes that parking spot out of the database because it's gonna be gone. But I think we show more details about that during the demo. So,
next slide. So our tech stack, we use Firebase. We use Firebase to host our database and all the information. We use Google Maps API, as well as Android Studio. Next slide, please. And so while we're coming up with all these good ideas that we wanted to implement in the app, we came up with we came up with a couple of points, a couple of main ideas where we implement a point system. Basically, you will get points when you give your spot, and also in return you can use those points to find a parking spot around your location. And another thing that we implemented is that we implemented a car type. So you can enter your car type, and once you are looking for a spot, you can know in advance whether the previous car that was parked there was the same size as yours, or whether you would fit in the spot. And while we are retrieving all these parking locations in our database, we use GeoFire that basically allow you to efficiently query your database.
pretty safe password, that one. At least,
so blurry?
it's because it's just.
Okay, so on the top left-hand side, you see points. This is an incentive for users to give up their spots. If you click on Give a Spot, new users get 2 points. If you click on Give a Spot, you get a point. Well, if you give a valid spot, you get a point. And if somebody uses your spot, you get a point. So let's say I'm at BMCC and I'm traveling to Brooklyn College. So I think, did you use the current location?
Yes.
Okay, so which is BMCC. So now we're gonna select the time leaving. Essentially, when will we be leaving that parking spot? Set it to now. Okay, that was an alarm system that we had set up. It's to remind users to leave the parking spot, and also a way for us to keep an updated time on that associated spot. So we're traveling to Brooklyn College, so let's find a spot near Brooklyn College. Go ahead and select. And if you could zoom in, the markers with the cars on them are the empty spots. So if you click on a marker, you get information about that spot. Okay, so it tells you information like when the spot will be available and the type of car that was previously parked in that spot. Again, this is a way to give the user an idea of how big the spot is. If you have a truck, it's not going to fit where a sedan was parked, generally. And you can pick different spots. They have different attributes, such as different leaving times and different car types. Yep. So let's go ahead and pick that spot. Okay, and then we have navigation set up. So we're not going to give you turn-by-turn directions here because for demo purposes, we'll just show up the destination reach dialog in about 15 seconds. There it goes. Okay, so if you found parking, we notate that and you spend one of your points. So it was at 205 points, now it's at 206 points. And yeah, that concludes our demo. And Emma will talk about our impediments.
So this is a great learning experience. We learned a lot about how to use Git. We also learned a new language, Java. None of us had used that before. And we also learned a lot about working in a team, how to assign specific tasks to each team member, how to estimate how long it will take to implement new features, and just improving our communication skills.
And with that, we want to thank QD Codes and our mentors and everyone else who participated with us. Thank you.
All right, so now they're open to questions. Alina?
So you said if you use a spot, you lose a point. If you just download the app and you start off at 0 points, are you not able to use a spot? You have to give one first?
When you start off, new users get 2 points.
Okay. So but if you're at 0, you can't use it unless you...
Unless you give a spot, yes. But it's fairly easy to give a spot wherever your car is parked. That would be the spot that you're giving up because you're driving away from the spot, so it's empty now.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you guys do if someone was parking in a no parking space and their car got, towed, and then they put maybe give a spot or something like that, and then does that I'm sure you guys will probably fix it if you guys really want to fix it, but wouldn't that cause problems where people are going?
Are you asking if the parking spot was a valid parking spot to begin with?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's a future feature that we actually want to install. And Sunny, do you want to talk about that?
Sure. I mean, we were thinking of if we had a little bit more time to kind of take advantage of data that's available to us about what's no parking, alternate side parking rules, and things like that, to kind of not only be able to avoid situations like that, but also be able to suggest spots where you can park. But right now, there's just no way to know until you get there, so it kind of sucks. But it's for the future, a future thing that we can implement.
How does the testing work? Does a user just go in and sign up? Or you guys have a way of testing to see if they actually have a valid car or license to show proof that they have a car before saying that they have a spot?
Well, if they want a spot, they would need a car. If you want to use the app, you want to find a parking spot.
My understanding is for users that just want to play with your app.
And put in fake spots?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that deals with our database, how we manage our database. So, okay.
Well, another feature we have is that when another user takes your parking spot, you receive another point. We also keep track of the spots that are taken. So if a user, let's say, is putting 5 parking spots, none of them are taken, we are going to know immediately that that guy is just a troll, and we can very easily just take another parking spot out of the database.